Going live, waiting for that live button. What's up, guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, sins and commandments, chefs, cooks, what else do I say? Garo fans and Garo fans. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your host with the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys. So I'm going to do that Blake Sheldon thing. Yeah, do that thing, that weird thing he does with his finger. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? One Punch Man, chapter 146, live stream, live reaction. We're going to do our obligatory wait off time as we always do, about 10 minutes into the stream, and we will start the chapter. Now, I've been told that this is a pretty good chapter, because I was really disappointed, actually, that right out of the gate, the Record of Ragnarok chapter drops at 3:30 in the morning. Now, I'm not exactly going to get my ass up at 3:30. I went to bed at 3. I'm not getting up half an hour after I decided to go to bed to do that thing. And to find out that the Record of Ragnarok chapter, while I thought it was pretty solid, I understand why everyone said, like, review it, but it doesn't warrant a stream. Because everybody knows my streams aren't exactly 45 minutes. I like to have a nice long 2 solid hour stream. First hour and a bit is usually the chapter, and the rest of it is just chatting with the chat and stuff like that, right? So people, most people know that's how I handle my streams, and it works out for me pretty good. So unfortunately, just everything was against me. I have no idea how I didn't know this already. But everything was completely against me for this one, because not only does Record of Ragnarok drop that I did not know it was going to drop, not only does One Punch Man drop today, and I didn't realize that was going to drop, I nearly got spoiled on Jujutsu Kaisen, so I had to quickly read that chapter today, and I usually like to wait for the viz and stuff. Then I find out, okay, don't worry about it, because today was my yard day. You know, it was a sunny day and it's going to rain the next 3 or 4 days. I needed to mow the grass. I needed to sprinkle the lawn. I needed to grass seed. I needed to trim the hedge. I had a full day in the yard since 11 o'clock this morning. So, and I just got in and eaten, showered like a couple hours ago. So I didn't have time to do all this stuff. And I was thinking it was like a silver lining a little bit, but then everything just seemed to happen. I was like, I was going to do a Tokyo Ghoul stream, which, by the way, guys, promoting that. I'm officially going to start. It was supposed to be today. It might end up being pushed to tomorrow. Well, it's definitely not happening today. I'm going to be doing a read-through of Tokyo Ghoul. I've never read it. I don't know a thing about it, actually, surprisingly. I don't know a thing about it, but I know it's very popular. I know a lot of people really enjoyed it. So I'm going to be doing a complete read-through, just like I did for Jujutsu Kaisen on the channel. And that was supposed to start today. Record of Ragnarok, as I said, that chapter dropped, and I was going to do that. Everyone said, you know, it's a good chapter, and I agree, it's a good chapter, but it's not stream-worthy. I'm like, okay, well, I can probably just do a 25, 30-minute review on it when I get in from the yard, blah, blah, blah. Then the One Punch Man chapter comes out, and it's just like, I got no time for this. So, yeah, so today, unfortunately, I really wanted to drop the Record of Ragnarok review today. Depending on how long this stream goes, it might get out today, it might be early tomorrow, because I haven't even recorded it yet, guys. So, there is that issue. There is that slight issue. It just, everything seemed to happen today. Meanwhile, I had zero content, really, other than the Dragon's Judgment episode. On Wednesday, I had zero content to really bring to you guys from Monday to Thursday. Then all of a sudden, Friday, I've got 6 goddamn videos to make. The only reason I was going to start the Tokyo Ghoul stream today was because I was like, my God, I got to do something. I can't wait for Sunday to start popping out videos. I've had very little content rolling out for the whole week. So I was like, yeah, I got to do this, you know. Let's just talk to the chat. Anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know my mindset. It just really sucked that everything dropped at once. I don't like to read raws anymore for the majority of things. I don't read raws of anything that I follow anymore. But I would like to know, I wish there was some way to narrow down the schedule a little bit. Like, I had no idea the raws were even out for Record of Ragnarok, so I had no prep time to assume that it was going to be out today. You know, or last night. And same with One Punch Man. I just, I'd love to have that more narrowed down, in some way. I don't know how that's possible, but yeah, just kind of a hectic day. Chat's in here. We got Vib, who I just made a moderator. I didn't realize that. How did no one catch that Vib it was not a moderator in my chat this whole time. But anyways, he's a moderator now, so yay. He's looking with the eye of Sauron. He's going to be judging me since I completely disappointed him on the last live reaction for One Punch Man. So he's watching me. We got AJ in here saying sup Griever. Sup AJ. Caden had his message he was talking about the Record of Ragnarok chapter being dropped. And yes, guys, I know it's just that I had committed to today. If tomorrow was bright sunshine, I could have skipped yard day and I would have been sitting in front of this computer for the last 7 hours just recording and streaming and recording and streaming. But I had to get it done. There are some priorities, unfortunately. Miss Content said, "What's up, Griever? What's up, Miss? How you doing, man?" Vibs in here said, "So Zero's backstory gets a reaction, but Buddha's only gets a review." Shaking my head. Okay, to be fair, I did not know that. I had Fine and I had Misk, and I think somebody else, and maybe Neo, I'm not sure, all tell me that the Record of Ragnarok chapter was not really worth the stream. It was a good chapter, but they didn't think it was stream worthy. So, knowing that and knowing I had a full yard day ahead of me, I was sort of like, whew, awesome, and then I read the chapter. Can I see myself doing a reaction to that? I could have done one, maybe, but honestly, nothing crazy happened. Buddha's backstory is not top 3 in the verse. It's not a bad backstory, but it's not the best backstory either. It reminds me of Shiva's. It's good. It's not great. There's some good moments in it, but it was the backstory chapter, and this one just didn't hit me. I really like Buddha, guys, even though I'm cheering on a different conclusion than a lot of people are. And this isn't a Record of Ragnarok stream, so we'll move on. But yeah, I'm still going to be doing a review of it, and it will be out, sometime tomorrow, if not later on tonight. Let's see. Nita said, but I know why Vib's just like, because he's a Buddha stan, which I even respect. I can respect all Buddha stans. I can respect that. Nita is in here, and I can't say the rest of your name, Nita. Are you a new subscriber? I don't think I've seen you in here before. Says, hello. Hello, Nita. How you doing? AJ also says, time for my favorite One Punch Man reaction stream with Tots hating Jesus. What, do I look like Jesus? Or are you saying Jesus? Do I look like Jesus? I was going more for an Aragorn sort of look today. I just got out of the shower, so. All right, I'll take the compliment. Awesome. Miss Content said, just remember Raw's Record of Ragnarok are always out on the 26th or 27th. How did I not know that information? I'm surprised I don't know that. Maybe somebody told me, probably Vib, and I probably forgot. But yeah, okay. And see, right now, guys, with lockdown, so we're still in lockdown and stuff. We're rolling out the vaccines like crazy, and thousands are getting vaccinated in this province every single day. So that's great because they're not going to lift restrictions until they said at least 80% of the population is vaccinated. Then they're going to ease up on restrictions like crazy good, but that's not going to happen until probably the end of June. Maybe mid-June. They're projecting that's the projection right now, but. So right now the days are sort of rolling together. I only worked 3 days this week, and they were half days. So Fib said, "All right, I'll let you off the hook." Yeah, had I known it was Buddha's backstory, I might have. I just assumed when they said it was good, but it wasn't great, it was a blow for blow sort of chapter, like that Shiva versus Raiden chapter. It was just they threw a couple fisticuffs. Zerafuku went, and Buddha went, and that was it. I assumed it was that. I didn't assume the backstory. Nita says, I am reading Record of Ragnarok 2, but I am at the beginning. Oh, which round are you on? Miss Content says, I don't think Buddha's backstory is complete. We still need to see what happened when he became a god. That's true, too. We don't know. Official confirmation that it is the incarnation of Buddha and blah, 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 like as a man, as a human, and all that stuff. So there is something there. Actually, there's something I'm going to bring up in the review, but really quickly, I just really think that I think that of all people, this backstory, what it truly just proved, is that I think my theory is still right. I think Buddha is doing this on purpose, and he's going to inevitably help Zerofuku. He's trying to help him. He's trying to save him. I truly think that, because the backstory is literally that was the crushing weight of what happened. Basically, it happened to both of them. It's just the way it happened was far different. Anyways, let's see. Vib said, best part of backstory chapters is us arguing with you about why they're better, worse than you think. Absolutely, absolutely. That's always the fun part, isn't it? But would it be entertaining? Are you not entertained? Would you not be entertained if I just sat here and went, every character is awesome. Every chapter is awesome. This series is 11 out of 10. This series is peak fiction, right up there next to Naruto, and I won't hear a goddamn bad word about it. I mean, I could go on that route, but that sounds boring. But yeah. Nita says, yes, I am a new sub. You can call me Theodore. It's easier to say. Theodore? See, I don't know if that is easier to say, because I don't know how you're supposed to say that. Is it Theodore? Or is it supposed to be like pronounced with a silent H, like Theodore? If you could let me know, that's great. If I'm saying it right with Theodore, then perfect. I can call you Theodore. I'm very bad with pronunciation. The rest of the chat knows this, but since you're new, Theodore, yeah, if I can't seem to get that right and you say no, you haven't said it right a single time, I can stick with Nita. that's cool. Vib says, or Tio or something like that to make it easy. Vib said, anyway, talking about One Punch Man. Yes, because we're already, we're past the 10-minute mark, but I don't mind. You guys are talking. It's cool. Talking about One Punch Man. Hopefully you think this chapter is nice. It's got some decent moments. I thought you'd like the last one, but you didn't. What happened with the last one was, I think I explained it later. I think, was that the one where I was really overtired? No, that was the Record Ragnarok one. Yeah, I used to like Darkshine, and I got really bitter when I saw a lot of people they were bitching about something, a character in a manga from like 2018 or something. I forget what it was. Somebody was, and I wish I had explained this on stream. Just really quick, what happened was, people were complaining, the people were complaining about Shaman King, the new Shaman King, Chocolove, right? He had the big lips and stuff in the original and in the manga and stuff. They edited that, and he is a black character, and they edited that because they just, for the new anime, because they didn't want to offend him. I think he looks fine and everything like that, but everybody was going nuts about this, and some people were talking about design, some people were talking about, at the end of the day, like, regardless, that's what it is. It's like changing Mr. Popo purple. That's not fixing the problem. Mr. Popo is canonically black. Leave him that way, be offended or don't, but leave it alone. There was all this talk, and I remember that whole Darkshine chapter when he's not black, and I was just really irritated that there was no outrage when one of my favorite series, Shaman King, was getting backlash from a lot of people saying, I didn't realize he had the big lips, this is horrible, I'm dropping the series, or it was, how dare you change my design. Like, nobody was happy in that argument. Nobody was happy with Shaman King, and I was like, what the like, I sort of get why people are a little upset, but I couldn't understand it when you have a literal dude who has been betrayed being black for years. We find out he's not black, and nobody seemed to bat an eye. So that just really irritated me about Darkshine. It was more about the community's reaction. Like, once again, my whole take, One Punch Man can do no wrong, and I feel like the special treatment was once again given. So I was just sort of irritated, and I really don't like Darkshine after the whole Sweet Mask thing, and he just got out of his funk. That really bothered me. So yeah, there were some things. There was a number of things that have made me. I used to like Darkshine, and slowly just like a nail, an arrow. It's sort of like Boromir. Boromir survived being shot a couple of times, and then eventually, 3 arrows right into his chest. He had to go down. He was still alive, but he had to. 3 arrows to the chest, right? Yeah, Miss said, I think this one is fairly good. Theodore says, also, hello, everybody. Vib said, yeah, it's not bad. Let's see if Griever likes it. Caden message retracted. Vib said, hey, Nita, let's get started, shall we? Vib said, we can do that next time, Caden. Don't know what it was. Let's keep this in the One Punch Man stream. Yep. We're moving on, guys. Theodore says, I am at the end of Jack the Ripper versus Heracles. Surprising ending, though. Awesome. Theodore said, second, like Theodore. Also, don't worry. Okay, so like Theodore. Okay. I'll just call you Theo. Or Theo. Yeah, I'll call you Theodore. Theodore. That works. AJ says, personal note, honestly wish I had the personal time to keep up with more manga just so I can watch more of your content. Not simping. It's total simping, but I appreciate it. One thing I love about your reactions is because I never really know what to expect, whether you're going to like it or hate everything I did, and you always have a well-explained opinion, so it just makes it interesting to watch. Well, thank you for the kind words, because most people in here have a very different opinion that my opinions are well explained. Usually they go, no, you're making no sense. So thank you. I got somebody on my side, guys. Theodore says, One Punch Man is my favorite manga anime story. Condolences, but you spelt favorite right, so you know what? You get a pass. You spelt favorite right. But yeah, you like what you like. And he said, how about we start reading? Absolutely, we're jumping in right now with Clench Your Fist. Focus on what's above you. This is One Punch Man, chapter 146, entitled Back Up. Translators, as always, is Nitro. Gray words, gray spelt wrong. One day, Vib, why don't you bring gray words? I'm sure you know him. Why don't you bring him into one of my streams so he can be like, what do you mean I'm spelling my own name wrong? Fuck off, you know. QC redraws by Kelp and cleaning typeset, of course, by our man Vib in the chat. So let's start off. Okay, we're starting off with some fan favorite characters and characters that I definitely like. We got Fubuki and we got Bomb, and I love Bomb. He da Bomb. Bomb's great. So let's see. Let go of me. I'm going even if I have to crawl. Fubuki has done her duty. She's gone above and beyond. And I will say that Tatsumaki, though, I had the problem with the extension of the fight. She's out of power, then she's power, then she's out of power, then power. Tatsumaki also put in 110% into this arc, into this battle, into this fight. So they are on their last, in my opinion, they should already be on the floor, but good on Fubuki here and good on Tats for all right, pick ourselves right back up. Like, Jesus Christ, ladies. Says, I'm going to have to go even if I crawl. And Bomb's just like, here you go. You really shouldn't. You are at your limit. And now Fubuki's screaming at Bomb, you saw it, didn't you? My sister's the one who's at her limit. This is nothing. Actually, I would argue that, once again, Tatsumaki broke limits. I mean, that could be a justification for it. You know, this whole Black Clover surpass your limits Yami thing. I would argue that that's what Tatsumaki had to have done during this battle, because she was on her death's door 6 times. It was crazy. So, but at least finally it's being acknowledged here, and we are seeing the consequences of Tatsumaki trying to do everything and constantly pushing herself. We are seeing that, and Fubuki, of course, very worried about her sister, and saying, this is nothing compared to what her sister went through, and she's not wrong. Tatsumaki pulled a lot of the weight here. Bomb, not really knowing what to say to that, but he should understand, because him and Bang. So he could probably get the sibling thing. So he says, you really are siblings, aren't you? You are so alike. Huh? We're not, I imagine it looks like, it's hard to tell because, she's all banged up, pun not intended, but she's all banged up and stuff. But I imagine she is slightly blushing there, going, huh? We're nothing alike, baka. Just because I idolize my older sister, and that's such a huge compliment, but it's so untrue. I'm nowhere near as good. I think that's the intention they're going for there, and it does work, because Fubuki brings on this air of confidence, but she doesn't resent her sister in that way. She idolizes her sister and thinks that she will never hold a candle to her. So there is that. There is a bit of an inferiority thing, but she doesn't blame her sister for it. So there is a, you really are siblings, aren't you? Okay. I mean, this is a nice scene. I'm liking this. And I like that it's Bomb. I like that it's Bomb talking to Fubuki. Not Bang, and not Bomb talking to Tatsumaki. You know what I mean? I like this dynamic. This was the way to do it, I think. If this is going to continue, like this scene about like being a sibling and stuff is going to continue, this was the right duo to do it with. Of course, the two of you wouldn't notice it. There may be plenty of places and times you don't see eye to eye. But even that is a sign that you're alike. I mean, that's very true. Me and my brother have been mistaken for being twins, and some people flat out think we're lying at work. We're 3 years apart. He's got green eyes and good hair, and I've got blue eyes and bad hair. So, I mean, we're roughly the same build and height. I'm a little lankier, and he's a little bulkier, but yeah, we're actually called the Property Brothers sometimes, because we're tradesmen or whatever, but we work together. So I do get that, is that we don't see it. You know, we don't see it at all. We're like, you and I, yeah, we're both white and we're both the same height and build and stuff, but we don't see it in our faces. I've got more of my father in me, and we see more of my mother in my brother. But like this is very accurate. I like this because it's absolutely true. The siblings never see the similarities or notice those things that other people see. And that is a sign you are alike. And that can be, yeah, and people do say sometimes that we are somewhat alike, though we have different personalities. And Bomb being the Bomb again. Like this is a nice, I like this. This is nice. Fubuki says, what does that even mean? Okay, it went over her head. But I got it, Bomb. I got those words of wisdom. I got them. You're no idea how hard I worked because I was nothing like her. That Fubuki. See, this is what I'm talking about. She's got a bit of an inferiority complex when it comes to her. And she doesn't blame her sister. She turns that internally to herself. And she doesn't see that it's not just about power, it's not just about strength, it's about heart, it's about character, it's about personality, it's about drive. That's what it's about, you know? So, I mean, I can understand why Fubuki, because she's had to deal with this her whole life. So I understand why she's turned that internally. She could have turned it on her sister and tried to always be better and hate her sister and we could have done a Maki Mai thing, you know, from Jujutsu Kaisen, but instead they do it a different way here. And I really like Fubuki because I find she's one of the more three-dimensional characters in One Punch Man. That's just me. And Bomb says, I mean in here. See, Bomb and I, same wavelength. Got the same wavelength. We're really nothing alike there. No, that's not what I... Okay. I mean here. Squeeze. I mean, no, that's not what I meant either. Okay. Let's see. Tatsumaki. Will you leave me alone? Okay, there's Tats. She's trying to do her thing or whatever. I don't need anyone's help with weaklings like these. All right, Bang. Like, oh my god, I hate escort missions. I hate escort missions. That's what Bang's thinking. Poor Bang. You know, it's like, listen, we're doing you a favor. Sit down. Shut up. Jesus. Like, don't get me wrong. I will praise Tots for carrying a lot of the weight of this battle, of this war. But, Jesus. Like, seriously, you are down and out. You should have been unconscious and in a coma about 3 fights ago. So, you know, like, just... I suppose it is within her character, though, so it's okay. But it's like, I feel so bad for Bang. What is he thinking? If only she had stayed asleep, we might have been able to fix her up a bit. Yeah, see? You hate babysitting duty, don't you, Bang? You can't stand it. Bang, of course, doing his best. Atomic Samurai taking a blow to the face. I'm sure, I don't know how Grimm's going to feel about that. But then taking down, keep up with me, Ian. Yes. Atomic Samurai's second sword. Oh, he gave his second sword to Ian. Yan. That's interesting. That's interesting. You know, technically speaking, a samurai sword, from what I understand about the Japanese culture, that second sword is not used like that. People think it is, but there are... I've heard different cultural depictions of what the second sword is carried for, what it's used for. It's a lot of the times it's... They depict it in manga and stuff as two long swords, but generally speaking, they used to carry usually a short sword or a wakizashi or, you know, stuff like that. And that was meant more for, you know, skinning animals and hunting and stuff like that. It wasn't exactly meant for, you know, for cleaning things and stuff. It wasn't, it was rarely used in combat, I guess is the point, because there was very little. We like to think it's badass, and it is dual wielding, but most samurai schools did not practice dual wielding. So it wasn't really a thing. Or maybe I'm full of shit, but I seem to remember that because, I don't know, I forget what that was from. But yeah, so he smashes 3. So Grimm will, like this, slashes, and I'm assuming he's going to cut right through them. But it almost looks more like he's smashing them in the face with the, like reverse blade sword style. And smashing 3 black sperms in the face, taking them down. So he took 1 hit, and he got 3 for it. So that's pretty cool. And then let's see, crush him. Oh my. Holy crap. So this is like the insect thing, or the you know, the Kagi no Mi, you know, like infinite zombies. Let's just keep throwing as many people in there as possible. Yeah, they're all weak. They're all you know what this black sperm reminds me of is, all right, people are going to hate that I'm comparing this, but I actually didn't mind Sword Art Online for what it was trying to do. Yeah, it got weird, but in the fairy dance arc, when he's trying to get in the tree, in the world tree and all that stuff, Kirito, in the second season, or the later half of the first season, whatever the hell they did with that, during that part, he fights, like, these relatively, like, they're only, like, level 10s, and he's, like, level 100, you know? And they're like, yeah, they don't do a whole lot of damage, and they're not all overly strong. You should be able to kill 50, 60, 100 of them. But the problem is that they are infinitely spawning, and you add up enough level 10s, like, you know, eventually, even if they're only doing 1 HP worth of damage, you're eventually going to get worn out, and they're not going to stop. They don't care if you kill 100, 200, 1,000 of them. They're going to keep coming. That's sort of what this is reminding me of, and I don't mean that in a bad way that I compared it to that. It's just because I've seen this before, and that's not the only example. This has been done before, but it's, instead of going into Black Sperm's like big Hulk form that we saw before, he's trying to overwhelm them with numbers. He's being slaughtered by by the dozens, if not the hundreds, but he's infinitely spawning, so what does he care? Because they say crush him, and then look, Darkshine just boom right out, and once again, it's Darkshine, so, but boom, and I mean, right there, he just took out like 50, 60, 100. I can't, like, I'm not going to count them all, but like, see, they're taking them all out, but he's just going to keep going. So Darkshine seems to be back in his full form, which once again I thought was a little bit of a cop-out, a little cheesy, but or too quick, too improperly paced. Darkshine would be a better character if he had to sit out for the rest of this arc, or maybe come in at the last second and try, maybe fail, maybe succeed, but still not be back to before Garo completely broke his confidence. His entire reasoning, Because people don't usually get over that. People don't usually get over, like, if you found out your whole, like, sort of like the Da Vinci Code. What if the Catholic Church found out tomorrow? What if the entire world found out that the greatest story ever told was actually a lie? People would go up in flames, right? What if we were lied to? What if what if, all these things and your beliefs and everything were flipped on their head with, like, you don't just get over that with a couple of flowery words. So that's why I found it sort of cheap. It cheapened. I liked Darkshine when he actually went into that state of depression, because I felt that was very realistic, given his backstory and given his story. Snapping out of that funk so easily is the only issue I have. But that's enough about Darkshine. We'll keep going. And I won't mention the star this time to Vib, because Vib was mad at my comparison. My muscles of steel didn't betray me after all. Everyone is watching me. I'm shining more than anyone. Let's see. Black Sperm seemingly getting irritated and saying, shit, if we keep attacking like this, he's just going to steamroll us. Didn't want to do this, but there's no choice. Now we got to split to our absolute limit, and what? Alright, that's a stupid number. Flatten everything with a sperm tsunami. Oh God, that's a stupid number of black sperms. But also, a sperm tsunami. Usually we call that a volcanic eruption. When that happens in the bedroom, guys. Usually that's what it's called. We don't usually refer to that as a tsunami. We usually call that an eruption. Or a volcano. Sperm tsunami just sounds. Moving on. Let's see. Hold up. If we keep splitting, we could pound on this durable gorilla for ages and not make a dent in him. We gotta merge. Okay. So he did that crazy, like, partially did the crazy tsunami. That's accurate, right? Like, he did do it. Flatten everything with that's not a flashback or anything, is it? Like, he literally did that? Or is that... Okay, I'm a little confused here. Alright, well, it's a good time to jump back to the chat, see what the chat's doing. And somebody can explain to me, is this flatten everything, is this sperm tsunami that we're seeing, is this actually happening right now? Or is this what he's imagining? Like, this is what he's going to do. And then he goes, wait, no, that's not going to work against the guy we're fighting right now. You guys let me know. And I'll catch up with the chat. AJ says, I never knew how much I didn't want Griever to call me Sussy Baka. Sissy? Or Sussy? Yeah. Don't feel bad, AJ. You're all good. Theodore says, bomb being bomb. That's right. Vib said, yeah, that's wakizashi. I put second sword because I'm not sure most people would get that. No, absolutely. I just mean in actual Japanese culture, the wakizashi was never... The short sword was rarely used for combat, if ever. So, from what I understand, I could be wrong. Vib said, yeah, he's smashing them, not cutting. Did you forget he said he'll do this last chapter? I did forget, actually. I did forget that. He's not going to... Well, he's not going to cut them because they split up. That makes sense. Theodore says, that was too much. Caden says blue whales do it and they release 400 gallons of it. See, if a blue whale does it, then it's a tsunami. You know, like, And I suppose, yeah, this is like the ultimate... I just don't want to go there. Viv said, it's not a flashback. When we get flashbacks, the frames of the page turn black instead of white. I know that. Like, I know it didn't... I know it hasn't happened. I would have remembered Black Sperm pulling this stunt before. I don't mean he's flashback. Is he envisioning it? Because it doesn't seem like he's doing it. Did that just happen? And then they're like, oh, we're going to start destroying the entire thing with this. Wait a minute. And not. So, anyway. Theodore said he actually did split. Oh, okay. So he did start this attack. Okay, it was very grayscaled compared to the other panels, and it looked like he was saying, we must reach our absolute limit. We must use Super Saiyan 4. That's just for Vib. But they don't actually go Super Saiyan 4 yet, But we see like a image of it or a shadowy figure of it. That's sort of, I don't know why I read it that way. Like all the other panels were very black and white, and then this one had the really nice Murata shading gray, and then it was like, oh, but we're not going to do that. Okay. AJ said, how much does the sperm whale produce? Excellent question, and as I am not a marine biologist, I have no idea. I have a lot of answers for you guys. I have a lot of knowledge to give you because I feel it's my duty. But I have no fucking... I have no idea. Theodore said that tsunami is the size of a mountain. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So I guess we're going to assume that he did start this attack and then stopped. So let's see. Hold up. If we keep splitting, we could pound on this durable gorilla for ages and not make it end. And we already said we got to merge. Then so the black sperms are arguing with each other. He says, shut it. Don't give us orders. If you want to merge, do it yourselves. There's no point in a half-assed merger. Don't be so damn selfish, me. Okay, so this is supposed to... I get the comedy. I don't really... Like, everybody loves Black Sperm. I don't, so... I don't dislike him, but... Okay. Now. No need to fight. Die as friends. Okay, I thought we weren't going to cut people. I thought we weren't going to do that, but... I'm not going to lie that if... Black Sperm can probably... become as many as he was cut there, but it doesn't look like he was actually cut, though. He's not actually cut. He slinkied his ass, so he can't he can't multiply with these two, won't turn into another 350 of them. But he just damaged them beyond repair by the looks of it. What the? Oh, it's the cool guy. It's the old cool guy. Yeah. Hey there, Kamikaze. You're truly putting in work. Nichiren, the Council of Swordmasters. Yeah, when these guys get introduced, I was really stoked because I was like, okay, we got new characters. I love swordsmen. I love swordsmen in manga. It's just, swordsmen are always badass. They're always cool. And we didn't really get to see these guys do a whole lot of contributions. And I was like, all right, well, when are we going to see these guys? So this is cool. And the fact that they're all there, I'm like, yes. The Council of Swordmasters. Be it the Monsters Association or whomever. After they turned one of our council members into a monster. Everybody remembers that. We can't shame ourselves by staying silent. We shall give backup to our comrades. Old dude. Well, Nichiren. And Bang standing toe-to-toe right there. It's like the martial artist, the way of the fist. You know what this reminded me of? History's strongest disciple, Kenshi. Because there's the martial artist world, but the martial arts world also includes weapons users, and they're considered a complete like separate entity. They don't generally get involved with each other. The martial artists deal with their underground shit. The sword masters and the weapons masters deal with their underground shit, and they don't really cross worlds very often, but when they do, it's like devastating, like two Yonko meeting up sort of idea. So this is what that's reminding me of, because we got the man of martial arts Bang there, and then we got Nichirian, the fucking sword master. Looks awesome. Bang says, "I am Bang of the water stream rocking smashing fist. I've heard much about you. Nice to meet you." Let's see. Black Sperms are saying, "Great, a bunch more weirdos showed up." Hey, Black Sperm going up to Homeless. "Why the hell are you just sitting around sightseeing from up high, asshole? Give us some cover fire." But I thought you guys were like gonna fight. I don't know. "It's a race to hunt the S-class, right? Isn't this your chance? Give yourself as much of a lead as you like." Huh? Yeah, because that's what they said. More like useless, Emperor. Baka. Haha. Yes, just keep splitting. Let's see. Does he have a limit to his splitting? I'm curious. Is that what Homeless is betting on? Like he'll divide himself to the utmost, or he'll use up the amount of energy it takes to split or something, and then he'll just use his power to go take out Black Sperm? If he splits to his maximum amount, this implies that Black Sperm has a maximum amount. I was under the impression he could just split infinitely, which is why everybody was like, "Sperm Gang" for like 5 years. That's what I assumed, is that this dude is so OP because he can just keep splitting. And he'll just multiply infinitely. Like Yugi doing the Karibo with the living arrow multiply shit against Kaiba. And Kaiba had to want to commit suicide just so he could win a goddamn children's card game. So let's see what he says. Because he did just say, if he splits to his maximum amount, implying there's a limit, each one barely has any ability by itself, and they lack cohesion. This is true. This is very true, because this is exactly why I compared it to the SAO thing, because that's exactly what Black Sperm is. And he says, "I'll let him brag about his numbers and watch as he wipes this pestilent civilization off the earth, and then I'll finish him off with a super concentrated carpet bombing." Jesus. Homeless is thinking like a strategy. Like, I liked Homeless until we found out his backstory, but I like Homeless. I did like Homeless, so at least he's redeeming himself a little bit in my eyes here, because he's being smart about this. After all, it's in my very nature to wander this earth once I've cleared it. What a beautiful scenario. All is just as the heavens will it to be. And he's just sitting there, just sitting back, chillaxing. His foot is in the Is that... Everybody look at his foot. Like, okay, just to make sure that you guys can see this, I'll roll back here. But the man is sitting. He's sitting. He's going like this. Did I miss a scene where his foot is backwards or something, or somebody twisted his foot in the wrong direction and he just doesn't care? Because his foot, like when you sit like this, which is how he's sitting, I am so grand. His foot is not pointing outward. Like, I'll break my ankle if I try to do that. Like, is he double jointed? What the fuck? Is that a mistake? Am I missing something with this? Is he double jointed? Does he not? Can he do that? I can't see it being a mistake, because it's just so obvious. Or is he just... Even if you could argue that he's wearing the shoe on the wrong direction, he wouldn't be able to fit his foot in there. Does he not have a foot? Is it a stump? Am I missing where he got his foot cut off or something? Am I forgetting that he got his foot cut off? And what's with all the blood on the rocks? Did he get his foot cut off? I have no idea. I have no idea. Like, I always assume, guys, because I'm not a One Punch Man stan, because I'm not the biggest fan of it, and I always critique it, and I give it a very biased opinion. I always assume that if something's there and I don't understand it, that I just don't remember, because generally speaking, I don't remember most of the chapters. It's not something I reread or anything like that. It's not something like Bleach or Toriko or Shaman King or One Piece that I want all that information up here at all times, readily available like a goddamn Wikipedia. I forget shit all the time. So, as Viv just pointed out, did you forget last chapter Atomic Samurai said he wasn't going to cut them? Like, yeah, I did. That was only last chapter. So maybe he doesn't have a foot. I don't know. And he just wears a sneaker to make it look good. Maybe it's taped onto his stump. I have no idea. Anyways. Next page. Black sperm. Go in. Make a vortex and hit as you swing around. Don't stop attacking ever. That's what they're trying to do. But the Swordmaster. Nigeria. And then, he's going to do the classic. Shing. He just opened up the earth. He opened up the earth, and you know what's funny? It sort of looks like I think it's a really nice panel, but it's sort of like Murata was like inspired by Kubo for a minute. He's like, no, I don't need to do like the whole crazy background for this shot. White background, everything looks more epic. White background in the back, because all of a sudden the earth like just is gone. Like, we don't see anything else. It's just white. So I find that kind of funny, just because people complain that Kubo used to do that a lot for like emphasis on the big moments and stuff, and I never had a problem with it. I always thought it was cool, but you can always appreciate a really nice background, you know. You got Murata that does that, Boichi does that, Mashima does that, and it's funny to see Murata not do it for once. It's kind of cool. And we see the black sperms just completely... So he split the earth like crazy, and then they're just falling. They're just falling like mad, the black sperms that were going in the vortex. Whoa, don't push. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And let's see. Spring Mustachio. Right. Oh, he looks so cool. He's got the mustache. He's got the rapier. He's clearly... Mustachio. He's clearly like an Italian gentleman or from the French Revolution, you know, sort of idea. Using a rapier and all that, fencing style. Let's see. If you're wondering why this man is content to stay in the lower ranks of the A class, well, that's because... let's hear this reasoning. What is he doing in that sword? That sword looks so... that looks cool. What's he doing? The penetrating power of his technique is too great, so he can't attack horizontally in populated areas. Whoa. He stays in the lower ranks of A class because he can't attack horizontally without killing everybody. The dude is at... When did he get bandages on his head? Was he wearing them before? Wait. Okay, I must not have noticed. His hair must be covering it because I did not notice the bandages. But he uses Tomboy Barrage. Weird name, but okay. And he's just So all the black sperms, or a big majority of them anyway, are down in this ravine where he can just twirl. He bends it looks so cool. It looks so cool. Like, this guy's a badass. But he's just he's piercing them. It's like a laser blast. He's just firing on them. Everyone like, nice! Darkshine like, nice! Your kind words touch me so dearly, master. Awesome. Yeah, the dude with the dreads, like, yeah, man, we're gonna do breakdance style. Let's do parkour, front flip, yeah, woo! Just killing them like crazy. And then the very monk-looking guy, peaceful death. Well, you suffer. So, yeah, this is looking pretty cool. Everyone's, like, amazing. And Black Sperm getting extremely pissed off. You all don't get cocky. He bursts himself out like crazy from the ravine. And we get Homeless smiling. Now, in the next page, we're jumping away. So I'll just check the chat really quick. See what the chat's saying. And then we'll jump back for the rest of the chapter. I don't know how long the chapter is, but we're into a new scene next page, so. Seems like the appropriate thing to do. Let's see. Vib said, seems you'd like Darkshine and Homeless if you just ignore their backstories. For the most part. As I said, I do have one crux with Darkshine getting out of his funk that easily when it, like, his entire life is built on it and it crushed him. But then Sweet Mass says, get up, and he goes, okay, I'm totally confident again. That's not how life works. Theodore says, if he doesn't have a limit, that means even Saitama cannot kill him, so I think there is a limit. Probably. And Homeless, basically, I'm assuming that Homeless is accurate here, and he's confirming that he does have a limit. So yeah. Vib said he was trying to climb the rocks last chapter. Maybe he twisted it when he was climbing up there. Twisted it? That thing's fucking broken. That's in the wrong direction. Sorry. Theodore says the foot is not right. Time to redraw Murata. No. No! No, we don't even joke about that here. Oh God, I was gonna drop One Punch Man for that shit. Let's see. Excuse me. Yeah, Theodore's smiling about that, but you should not be. AJ said, Griever, founder of WikiFeet, confirmed. Absolutely. You know what? It would work perfectly if I had a foot fetish, which I've always thought was kind of weird, out of all things. Like, I mean, you're into what you're into, but I don't have one. Honestly, like, they're feet. I stand on them. Wash them in the shower. A lot of people don't scrub their feet in the shower. That's one thing I've noticed. People do not scrub their feet. People get, like, fungi and infections in their toenails and shit and between their toes all the time. That's apparently a common thing. I don't get it. I was always taught you scrub the bottom of your fucking feet and you get in between your toes when you're in the shower or bathtub or however you cleanse your body daily or whatever. So, yeah. It would work out perfectly if that were the case, but unfortunately I do not have a foot fetish, so. Vib said, the blood on the rocks is from the Tatsumaki versus Psycho Orochi fight when Orochi spread all over the city and sucked everyone's blood, then Tatsumaki spilled it. I assumed it was from a previous battle, Vib. I was just trying to make sense of that foot being the complete opposite direction that the human anatomy says no. That's all. Theodore said that sword is too OP. That sword is amazing. Uh, Theodore says, bring a new beer or drink. You think I'm not prepared, but you think that this is not my first rodeo. This is not my first stream. I'm always prepared. I am always prepared. Top off the beer. Beautifully done. Hallelujah. Theodore says, sorry, I did mean it. Please, for the love of God, no. No, as I said, next time Murata pulls another stunt like that, a year-long stunt of just redrawing a fight that nobody wanted redrawn and retconning it all to shit. Next time he wants to take a year just to give us that, I'm dropping One Punch Man. I will drop it like a fucking stone. He pulls another Phoenix Man year on us, I'm dropping it. It's just, no. That's unacceptable. Just completely unacceptable as far as I'm concerned. Vib says, lol, text talking Vib. Says, lol, real Chads lick their entire bodies like cats. You're goddamn right we do. Alright, so we're caught up with the chat, so let's jump back. New scene, we're back, we're back to bombing Fubuki here, and Genos is there with a very hurt Tank Top Master. Can we appreciate Tank Top Master again? Can we appreciate the balls on this guy? The level of, like, Tank Top Master pulled his weight this fight. He really did. Demon Cyborg, Blizzard of Hell. I'm leaving Tank Top Master to you. I am the Terminator now. I'm going to sit here like a Terminator. I like Genos, so. Hey, hold on. And he rushes away and, Tank Top Master, such horrible injuries. So Fubuki and Palm are going to try to help Tank Top Master. Fubuki says, with my remaining power, I don't know if it'll be enough to save him. And Palm says, if only we could give him some of my power. Fubuki says, let's try it. Bomb says, what? Oh, Fubuki's going to use Bomb. Okay, they're not explaining this well, but I'm going to assume for a minute that this is what's going on, because it does make sense, especially given what Vib gave me about everybody's got chi in this universe. They just don't explain it for some goddamn reason in the manga, so people like me who don't read the webcomic get very irritated at a bad power system because they don't explain that there's a power system. But then it's explained away very easily with one panel in the webcomic. Go figure. So they all have a ki or a chi or a power, a spiritual pressure. And what I assume is happening here, though it's not really explained, is that Bomb is relatively healthy right now. Fubuki's running on empty, and Tank Top Master is like, he needs a lot to save him, to save his life. Like, not even like look at how beat up he is. So just to keep him alive. So Fubuki's curious that, like, she might not have enough remaining power after all the stunts that she's pulled in. At the beginning of the chapter, we saw, like, you've reached your limit. Like, this is it. Bomb is going to be her channel. She's going to utilize her ability, but she has Bomb's hand there from this panel here, and she's going to steal. She's going to take from Bomb to give to herself to sort of give back to Tank Top Master. Or another way to look at it is that she's giving it through Bomb to Tank Top Master and using Bomb as the power source. But from an electrical standpoint, it would make sense that Bomb could be a channel. You know, you got a dead battery. Even if you have a dead battery in your car, the car will still turn over because you have an alternator. The alternator gives even a dead battery a charge. Now, of course, because we have something called cold cranking amps in your car. But that being said, it's not going to inevitably always work. But but even with a dead battery, you should be able to turn the car over because of the alternator, unless your alternator is weak. And then vice versa, because you have multiple systems helping it to try to start, right? So, Now, if you have a dead battery, a battery that sat there forever, or the thing is just like, or it's leaking or it's calved, then no, the alternator's not going to do its job. But, because it can't. But, you can always give a dead battery a boost with an alternator. But just most car alternators are sized according to the car and not sized according to, I'm going to try to start this thing after letting it sit for 6 months in a garage. So, that's why a lot of people need a jump. So let's see. Let's see which theory is correct here. Which, I mean, it's just an analogy, guys. I like doing that sometimes. I like trying to figure out how this pertains to another aspect and feel like it sort of well-rounds all your knowledge a little bit. Like a learning experience. So, it seems to be working, and it's really helping Tank Top Master, seems. And they both drop down. And Fubuki is panting and says, "We did it. It just a bit, but he's healing." And Bob said, "These things aren't meant for someone my age." Oh, okay. So she used a lot of Bomb's power to once again heal Tank Top, and they're both still conscious. So she wasn't going to damage herself like Tatsumaki was doing earlier in this arc. And then an explosion from behind them. I'm not crying. You're crying. The return of the Garo show! I still don't know why we call this series One Punch Man, because the main character has now arrived. Oh, Vib, you dirty bugger. You dirty bugger. Now I know why Miss said stay away from my Discord today. Now I know why, because this was the shit to talk about. Because this is what real manga fans care about. One Punch Man, yeah, it's an okay story. The art, 10 out of 10. But the reason that guys outside of One Punch Man stands read One Punch Man is for this motherfucker right here. And so I know that everybody was blowing up discourse. I'm amazed I was not spoiled on this one. I'm so happy I wasn't. I thought this chapter was really good. I thought the chapter was a solid like 8 out of 10 before this. I mean, now it's 11. Now it's just instantly 11. Take away every other page. Every other page. Doesn't matter. This one page. Boom. 11 out of 10 chapter right there. Because the main character has arrived. I'm so glad I was not spoiled. Thank fuck I was not spoiled on this. That would have ruined my day. After, you guys are probably laughing your ass off. I know Vib is. Vib is laughing his fucking ass off right now. Because I was sitting here explaining at the beginning of the stream, like you all know, like what a hectic day this was. First I was going to do a record of Ragnarok stream, then I wasn't, then I was going to do a review, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, I also got to do Jujutsu Kaisen because I nearly got spoiled, so I had to read that, so I better record that. And then it was, oh, One Punch Man is here. I'm like, fuck. And then I had the Tokyo Ghoul thing that was planned for today. That's clearly not happening. And now, this was worth it. This was so fucking worth it. I'm so glad because I was actually going to pick. About halfway through the day, I was trimming the hedge, I was mowing the lawn. When I took a break, I thought to myself, because even though I said that I was gonna review the chapter, I said maybe I'll push the One Punch Man chapter. Maybe I'll do Record of Ragnarok because it came out first. That's only fair, and I will stream that tonight. and then I'll do One Punch Man tomorrow. You know, I picked right. Oh, and I have so many people. I have Viv and Misk and Fine, and I think Neo was in there too. I have all you guys to thank for not saying a guy. I think Tenryo was in on this too, but nobody said a word. Everyone said, it's a pretty good chapter. I think you'll like some of the moments. You know, you didn't like last chapter, and we thought you would, but seriously, like, give this one a chance. Well, okay. So you guys hid this completely, totally unexpected. And the fact that I chose to read the Record of Ragnarok chapter instead of doing that, like, everything lined up. Everything happens for a reason. Now, I'm not a religious guy, but clearly sometimes that proverb, Good day. Yep. This is a good day. It's probably the end of the chapter, so let's not get. Let's just see. I think we get 2 more pages. 2 more. Maybe only 1. I don't see this chapter going on any further. But let's see. Look at how sexy this man is. Look at how good he looks. I was worried that they were going to do not something uncool, but I was worried they were going to make something grotesque. Something like Jujutsu Kaisen or Full Metal Alchemist. Or they were going to really go monster with Garo eventually. He was going to look menacing, but not badass, not cool. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna go Super Saiyan, but Super Saiyan is gonna be like crazy, or beastly, like way too animalistic or something like that. Which once again, I think there was probably a lot of designs for that, and I think some of them probably could be pulled off really, really cool. But looking at this was the right direction to take. He's literally oozing lightning. Like his internal Super Saiyan 2. His hair, like instead of the lightning bolts when guys turn Super Saiyan 2, he's got the lightning in his own goddamn body, and it's just fucking vroom, 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 vroom. God, that looks good. Oh, it looks so good. All right. We're not stopping. All right. There can only be a few pages left. Like that's the big reveal. That's the big thing. But let's see. I can't get over that. I'm going back. This page. Oh, it looks so good. It looks so good. See, this is what I'm talking about sometimes. You can be amazingly impressed with some of the fantastic, phenomenal artwork of Murata, but it doesn't always take the highest crazy landscape detail to make a panel, to make a page. Like, this looks fire. This looks greatness. And it's like, man, oh man, this looks so good. I love the rippings. He's reminding me like of halfway through the game playing Prince of Persia. Like, Jesus. Wow. Okay, so I don't think the chapter's going to last very much longer, guys, so I'm not going to pause. I'm going to keep reading. if it goes more than 3 more pages, then I'm going to have to. Like, if we're seeing no end in sight. But let's see. Bomb is completely, of course, shocked, and everybody is. Garo, the hero hunter, says Fubuki, at a time like this. And he's just growling, looking like a goddamn evil Power Ranger, and it looks awesome. He was in the Monster Association after all. His form is unrecognizable, but that explosive, murderous aura, there's no mistake of it. Bang! It's Garo! He's back. Garo is here! And I know you are entertained. So everybody knows. My hands are full here, though, says Bang. Atomic Samurai says, go! Leave this to me. Oh, see, Grim's gonna love this shit, because now Garo showed up, and everybody likes Garo, but Atomic is getting some spotlight here, going like, don't worry about it. Bang, you can take off. I'm gonna handle this bitch. Like, great. Like, and I like Atomic. I don't know why people like Flashy so much. Flashy is an asshole. Atomic is at least a samurai. He's like a samurai, you know. So I don't know why people like want to do that shit. Like, Flashy's not really that cool. Looks like a dink, and he acts like a dork. So, I mean, yeah, he's strong, but like Atomic's way cooler. He says, leave this to me. Go and right your wrongs as a master. And they would understand that on a fundamental level. Flashy would never get that. See, Flashy's too much 2D down there. And Bang's like, Atomic Samurai, I owe you one. Water smashing rock face. Boom, 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 boom. Just going through the black sperms like they're fodder. 'Cause they are. Alright, so let's see. Righting his wrongs, eh? I remember someone saying we should take care of Garo before Bang does, since he couldn't be relied upon. Atomic, I was mistaken. I had almost disgraced Bang's resolve. If I were him, I'd never forgive someone for that. See, this is a great, like, alright, yes, the Garo stuff makes this chapter into the stratosphere of greatness, because Garo is now back in the story. We can get away from the stupid monster airplane mixed with a hot librarian fighting a goddamn lolly, and we can get to some good ass shit. We have one of the greatest manga artists of all time doing it. Let's utilize that and get some greatness. And here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This is fantastic. And Atomic having character development like that, and it makes total sense. It's like, I would never forgive someone for doubting my intentions as a master with a failed student. So why, like, he's feeling guilty because he said that, and now he's like, no, I gotta take that back before Bang even finds, you know, yeah. And the blind sword master, Nichiren, Nichiren, says he's smiling and he understands. He gets it because he's old and wise and he's the best. And he's like, oh, I see. All right. Awesome. Okay, so Garo showing down. Bomb. Tank Top Master. Fubuki. Bomb. Young miss. You should hide. I don't know where, but okay. Don't underestimate me. Guys, this was so bad setup. Like, not bad from a storytelling perspective, but this is the worst case scenario. Bang's been fighting this whole time. Not that Garo would be necessarily in great shape either. Like, he didn't take a couple of hits here and there. But Bomb just gave up. We can assume quite a bit of strength because Fubuki said, with my power, I can't save his life. Like, keep him stable. And Bomb's like, if we can only use mine. And seemed to take quite a number because Bomb is not nearly at full strength. This is a worst case scenario. This is bad. This is very, very bad. Is the last panel going to be Bomb just getting like completely like Aizen, like face palmed? Next page. Alright, we got more pages than I thought. and it's all about Garo. It's all about the man. It's all about the Chad. So, okay. And you should check out Bang's databook pages. You can find them translated on his fandom One Punch Man wiki page in the trivia section. I will probably do that because just, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just so happy that this chapter was not spoiled for me. Like, it would have been like I could have easily jumped into Grimm's Discord. I don't really frequent there anymore, but on an off day, you know, or I could have gone into like I didn't go into other series on Misks, but who's to say that they wouldn't have said something in his general chat or somewhere else? Someone mentioned like, yeah, Garo's back this chapter. That's pretty cool. Like things get said and not everything gets caught until people get spoiled, right? Like thankfully, once again, everything sort of comes together. I had a yard day, so I wasn't on Discord. I was on Discord for a few minutes to talk to Misk about plans for streams and shit, and that was it. I wasn't on my phone. I had like 3 phone calls and 9 text messages and all this shit by the time I got back in. Like what am I gonna do? Like mowing the lawn and I'll feel the vibration or hear the phone ring? No, of course not. So I just leave the fucking thing in the house on charge while I do that shit. So this worked out because I feel like I would have been spoiled if this was any other day. If this was yesterday, I would have been spoiled. I know I would have found this information out. Not because I was looking for it, because it just would have happened. I'm just so grateful that it didn't. Okay, there's quite a we're only actually surprisingly even for a Garo chapter. Well, Garo didn't come into the fourth quarter, but you know, just like a Chad always does. We're only an hour and 16 minutes into the stream, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go grab a couple more beer, gonna catch up with the chat, and then we're gonna talk about what are the chances that Garo literally decimates everybody. And we'll talk about that. So I will be right back. Because I need more beer for this. And it's helping keep me awake. I'm fucking exhausted. This is crazy. Yeah, how do I... There we go. I'm back. Alrighty, let's see what the old God. Here's all wavy today. Yeah. I got that wet, greasy guy look, I guess, going on. But I trimmed up my beard line, so that's the main thing, right? Let's see. Let's see what people are saying. Okay. So Theodore says, Genos, I will be back. Ah, I should have said that because he did the Terminator thing and was like, I'll be back. Yeah, shit. Knew I should have done that. Viv says, Griever with the technical knowledge and jargon. Always got to add something to it. Hey. And Theodore says, here we go. That smile. Viv said, I was trying to de-hype this chapter for you so you can be happy and surprised to see him. You did an excellent job because I didn't even see, like, you didn't lay it on too thick. That's the problem when you're trying to lie to someone. I mean, lying for the good things, right? But when you lay it on too thick, you can't lay it on too thick when you try to do that shit. When you try to undersell something, but you're really excited about it, or, when you're doing that lawyer shit, So, yeah, it worked out perfectly. And I appreciate that, Viv. I appreciate that. Theodore said, I tried so much not to spoil. Thank you for not spoiling. Viv said, same, it's hard to hold it in. I know, but look, guys, I got to it today, right? It all worked out, didn't it? I didn't do Record of Ragnarok. I didn't do Tokyo Ghoul like planned. And I did decide to do the One Punch Man stream. I even thought about skipping this chapter. What a fool that would have been. Theodore says, but this is what that beer was for. Cheers for Garo. Cheers for Garo, absolutely. I mean, he is my icon, as you guys can see. He's right there. Theodore said, never skip One Punch Man chapters. See, I do skip them. Well, I don't skip them. I don't do a live stream for every single one because some of them are just like, meh. And if they're a Tatsumaki focused chapter or some bullshit like that, then I'm just going to be like, fuck, no. Or even like a Saitama focused chapter. See, I don't like Saitama. So, yeah. But yeah. I always end up reading them before doing the latest reaction. So, like, for example, if I had skipped chapter 145 and then people said, hey, you should stream chapter 146, I would have read 145 before the stream. So, I'm not uninformed when I do a reaction. Just Theodore said, everybody see Garo? This is a good day. That's right. That's why I put my feet up. You got to put your feet up, right? Vib said, Greek almost ruined it. He sent a bunch of messages asking you to read it on Discord. He did? I haven't spoken to Greek. Where the fuck is Greek? Where's Greek been? I see him like once every 6 months now. Is he like super busy with fucking school or something? Like, what's going on? I don't see Greek in here anymore. I don't see him commenting. I don't see him in the Discord. I don't see him anywhere. And again, I don't go to Grimm's Discord very much anymore, so I don't know. But he said, Greek almost ruined it. He sent a bunch of messages to you, I assume, asking you to read it on Discord. I knew if you saw he randomly sent those after months of silence, you'd know Garo showed up, so I deleted them. Oh, he sent it in the general chat and you deleted them. Oh. Okay. Wow. Well, thank you for that, because that might have tipped me off. I won't say that it would have, but it might have tipped me off. He sent a bunch asking me to read it. Okay. MC Dude said, Atomic gets pooped on just to counterbalance Grim. To be honest, that's true too. Because Atomic is cool. Theodore said, if Garo isn't the main character, then funny to say that Saitama is, because since Monster Association versus Hero Association. Saitama is missing. It's just somewhere down there. I mean, yeah, okay. Theodore said, for me, it's 4:50 in the morning. Oh, God, go to bed. Or if you just woke up like a few hours ago, then stay up. Viv said, Greek's busy with his Walmart job. But didn't he have that for the last few years? Or did he get a promotion or did he get a new job? I never asked Greek where he worked, but I knew he had a job. Huh, okay. And MC Dude's in here. Hi, man. Yeah, so we're caught up with the chat there. So, wow. I thought everybody would be off the hook, honestly. Usually that happens in Ragnarok streams and stuff. So maybe everybody's focused on other people right now. Everybody went to Grimm and everybody went to Satsuki and people like that, you know, and Keishan or any guys in the podcast and stuff. Because usually the chat is pretty blown up when I do a chapter reaction for One Punch Man and Ragnarok, so I have to have a lot of catch-up time. But yeah. Huh. Like, that's why I grabbed more beer. I was like, oh, man, by the time I catch up with the chat that's going on right now, there's going to be more chat. And apparently there's not more chat. That's okay. I'm not blaming you guys or anything. It's just that, okay, because, like, once I stopped reading the chapter, I noticed that there's, like, we're down to, like, 3 people in here. So it's like, oh. that was quick. Usually people wait around to see some afterthoughts, chat a little bit more. I guess this one was more quick. Maybe it's because it's late. Like, I don't mean late like it's 11 p.m. my time, because I know that, like, everybody's everywhere else. But, like, time zones are a thing. But maybe it's because, like, the chapter dropped at, like, when did it drop? Like, 3 in the afternoon? Like, it dropped, like, 8 hours ago, and I'm just getting to it now. So maybe the hype is sort of, not died down, but something, maybe. Maybe everybody's been watching everybody else all day, and there's, oh, yeah, more people reacted in One Punch. Yeah, I already watched, like, 6 reviewers. I'm good. Maybe. MC Dude said he moved out of his parents, I think. Oh, did he really? I didn't know that. I haven't spoken to Greek very much in the last, like, year. Hope he's doing okay. Same with Chubb. Where the fuck's Chubb? MC Dude also said, oh, people are off the hook. I'm guessing you'll see that in views after. Oh, probably. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking that, like, out of all chapters, you think that, you know, I've noticed one thing, is that when it pertains to either, like, something that I am going to shit on or that I'm going to, like, go crazy for, my live streams do very, very well, because everybody jumps into them waiting for me to do it, right? That's the point of a reaction. That's the point of a live stream. I just expected this one to do, like, boom. Well, now knowing that Garo was in it, I thought more people would flock to it, being like, did he reach Garo? Did he reach Garo yet? Did he reach Garo yet? You know, because that's what I find. Like, my Tatsumaki chapters, everybody loves to jump into those for some reason. I get 30 people in here and they're all bitching at me. But, you know, Garo shows up and I praise the sun for him, and it's like, okay. So it's just kind of weird. A little, just not disappointed, just unexpected. But yeah, still a fun stream, still a great chapter. That one guy who watches you when you sleep. Very interesting name there, buddy. He says, sup. Sup. How you doing? Looking good. Nice dress. Says James Woods in Heracles. Or it was Hercules because it was Disney. But Theodore said, what do you expect now that Garo shows up? Now he fodderizes everybody. Like, I think somehow that this fight is going to, like, the 2 fights are going on right now, right? We have, like, Black Sperm and Homeless is sitting by, but Black Sperm fighting the S-Class, and now we have Garo showing up in that area. I think that they're going to eventually converge, and because of Garo, and Garo is going to kick the shit friend or foe. Right now, we are assuming that he's basically lost all sense of reason and lost his mind. I have a feeling he's going to shit kick everybody. I think this is probably the reason that Saitama is here, because I feel like, and I'm going to be extremely disappointed when this happens, because I have a feeling I know what's going to happen. He's going to kick the shit. He's going to kill Homeless. He's going to beat the shit out of Black Sperm. He's going to decimate the S-Class. Bang and Bomb are probably going to be the last ones standing. He's going to fatally wound Bang. And then Saitama's going to show up. And that's probably where Genos went to go get Saitama. And then Saitama's going to be the answer. Yeah. That's my prediction of how it's going to go. Bang's going to die. Homeless is going to die. Black Sperm might die, but will be defeated. The S-Class, maybe somebody else will die. I don't see it. I see Bang dying because he's the, and then Saitama's going to have to come and stop Garo because nobody else can. But in the end, it's Saitama, and it will be very disappointing. That's the way I'm looking at it. That's the way I'm looking at it. Maybe I'm wrong. One guy watching says, these chapters are too short, the hype is overwhelming. They're pretty decent sized chapters. MC Dude said the party's getting crazy, the scale of the fight is getting stupid, everyone's tied up or MIA, and now Garo has shown up. That Garo showing up just makes it. You know what I mean? Theodore said, keep Saitama away from Garo. That's what I'm saying. Like, not until Garo, because everybody's under this delusion. Everybody's under this, well, maybe it's not a delusion, maybe it's fact. You have two camps of people. One that believes that One Punch Man, or at the very least Saitama, is a parody character, and as a parody character is never going to lose. He's never going to have a super, fight where he struggles and he's down to the wire, because that defeats the purpose of One Punch Man. He one punches and he wins. He's a parody character. Then you have the other camp of people that say, no, he's just stupid strong and nobody can match him. And it's not a parody anymore. Just so we're clear, when it first started in the webcomic, it was a parody. That has been confirmed. So, whatever. You want to say, oh, but the manga's not a parody. Fine, Danny. Okay. So, regardless what camp you're in, at the end of the day, I don't think, knowing what we've seen of Saitama one punch casually to this point, I don't think the new Garo right now is going to be able to give him a match. So, regardless what camp you're in, deciding on Saitama parody character or not, it's sort of irrelevant, because if Saitama shows up, I think he's going to one punch Garo. Not kill him, but he's going to one punch, he's going to end it, he's going to go pung, and it's going to be over. And I just don't want to see that happen. So, yeah. We'll have to see. We'll have to see, because I think Garo, if this manga is going to be taken seriously, and if they're trying to move away from the parody that is Saitama, then Garo's the final villain for Saitama to fight. Garo is the mole men giving Saitama a fight of the ages to push him, not the other way around, for the first time in his life. That's ideally what should happen. But that just depends if they want to keep up what Saitama was born as, which was in the webcomic a parody character on shonen protagonists, or if they were going to take it seriously. But I don't know the minds of one, and I don't know the mind of Murata, so I'm very hesitant to really say yay or nay on either side. Fib said, now that I don't need to protect you from Garo showing up, I'll take a break. I've been sitting on my computer way too long and have neck pain. Okay, Viv, thank you very much for dropping in. And now I see why you wanted to be made a moderator. It was literally for this. So I can take your mod chip away. Okay, good to know. Not that I'm going to do that. I already thought Viv was a mod, so. But yeah, all right. Thanks, Vib. MC Dude said, I honestly hoping Bang and Garo will just have a heart-to-heart for a little. I think it's gonna be super emotional, but I think it's gonna be a Kylo Ren killing Han Solo thing. I think it's gonna happen. I just see it. Need more of them interacting. Absolutely we do. But I don't see it ending well. One guy says, I bet Vomited Ugly will show up and try to help Garo, and then Garo will accidentally kill Ugly in one shot. That'd be amazing, because I think that Gums was cooler, so I'm pissed. Theodore says, with Amai Mask being dead, Amai Mask is... Oh, yeah. But see, I believe that there's something special about him. I don't think Amai Mask is dead. I really don't. I don't believe it. It was too unceremonious a death, and it just doesn't make sense. I think Amai Mask is alive. I really do. And Tank Top almost get killed. It isn't any more a parody or a funny story. No, that's not the point. The point is that the webcomic was based as a parody of shonen tropes. And Saitama is still the embodiment of that, because the MC has plot armor. Saitama was a parody of plot armor protagonists. He always was. And when the manga started, he still was. And he has retained to be that way. Until I get a statement from one himself or Murata saying that Saitama is no longer a parody. And that... But see... It defeats the purpose of One Punch Man, because if I call a story, I don't know. If I call a story Always Winning, and it's a basketball manga, and the main character is known as the guy who always wins, I can't have him lose. Because there goes the story. Saitama is the One Punch Man because he ends everything in one punch. If he does not, then that breaks the whole premise. That he's too strong, that he can one punch away any problem. If he can't, if he struggles, at the end of the series, fine. But I don't think that this is the end of the series, is my point. So Garo's not ready to face Saitama where he breaks away from being a parody. If that's the direction they're going to do. So, yeah. But once again, I don't think Amai Mask is dead. So, just because you kill off other characters doesn't stop a parody manga from being a parody manga. The webcomic probably killed people off too. Still a parody. The webcomic was literally a shonen parody. MC Dude said, I don't know about that. It leans into the satire and the humor a lot, but it also plays things straight a lot too. That's what I'm saying. The manga has evolved. That's what I'm saying. MC Dude is pointing it out better than I did. It leans into the satire and the humor a lot, but it's moving away from the parody. That's what I'm saying. There's two camps of people. One Punch Man, the manga, is clearly no longer a parody manga. I still can argue the character of Saitama is embodying parody of plot armor protagonists. I'm not saying I'm in that camp. I'm just saying that it doesn't matter right now, because regardless whether they're going to play it, regardless the more they're getting away from the parody and the straighter they're going to play it, at this junction, I don't think that Garo can defeat Saitama, and I don't see Saitama, after all this, struggling against Garo. So that would make for a very shitty end of fight in this arc. So I don't know how it's going to go down in a good way. Knowing me, I'll probably be upset about it. But yeah. One said, Ugly still needs to be resolved, though. What do you mean it needs to be resolved? Resolved for what? Theodore said, now I want to see how strong is Garo now. Yeah, I do too. Which we're going to see next chapter. It's going to be awesome. One said, kind of weird to add Garo while all of the other villains are still showing the ultimate force of their powers. No, it's the greatest time because I was getting bored with all the other bullshit. The Garo is the reason to read One Punch Man. Garo is literally the reason. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I didn't read the first arc of this manga. Never did. Didn't read the webcomic. Have never been interested in the webcomic. And the only reason I picked it up was because of Garo. And then I went back and I watched the first season of the anime, and I did watch most of it. But I haven't actually seen the entire series because I didn't finish the first season of the anime, and I started reading when Garo showed up. Because people told me that, oh, you don't like One Punch Man, but trust me, this character, Garo, he's awesome. I forget who'd said it, but yeah. So, I happen to actually, potentially, I have missed a couple of chapters in, like, the middle. MC Dude said, well, things are just escalating. Yeah, they are. Theodore said, many people don't even look at One Punch Man because they believe that every fight will end up in one punch. But this way we get other things. You can call it One Punch Man universe. I mean, once again, I never said, like, the characters... See, here's the thing. One Punch Man is a half-decent story. I give it a 6 out of 10. 5 out of 10. It's an average story with a slew of great characters and a main character that I don't like. And I don't like the premise of the story and the premise of the main character. Which is why I am not a One Punch Man stan. It's sort of like Naruto. Every character in Naruto is more interesting than Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. They bring that series down. If it weren't for those three and their horrible storylines and horrible characters, Naruto, the universe, is quite interesting. The battles outside of these three characters are interesting. The characters and the backgrounds and the stories. Itachi, Orochimaru, Jiraiya, Shikamaru, Kakashi. They're all moderate. They're all interesting characters. They all have good storylines. You know? But we have a fault in the premise of the story and the main cast. And in this case, this arc would have been... I would have really loved this arc if they didn't focus so much on Tatsumaki. Because I hate Tatsumaki. I hate Tatsumaki. I don't like Saitama, but I hate Tatsumaki. I hate her. So, the fact of the matter is, half of this arc and half of this battle was focused on Tatsumaki fights Orochi. So I just wasn't that into it. I wasn't that interested. I didn't care. Tatsumaki's going to be overpowered as fuck. And that's going to be the end of the fight. And it's going to be great artwork, but it's... and eventually, I know One Punch Man fans that got bored of that fucking fight. So, it's just one of those things where the universe is decent, and it's got a lot of great characters. Like, I like a lot of characters in One Punch Man. I like Bang, I like Bomb, I like King, I like Atomic, I like Garo. Of course I like Garo. Everybody likes Garo. I like Metal Bat. I like Shuryu. I like Bushidrill. I like a Dragon Fan, of course. The greatest. The one that survived Tatsumaki's attack, of course. I like Genos. I like a lot of characters and a lot of their storylines. And a lot of their fights. I just don't like Phoenix Man. I like Phoenix Man. I don't like some of the basically the main character. I don't like Tatsumaki. I hate Tatsumaki, and I don't like Saitama. So that takes away. I feel like even if you have a great story, like if you... Death Note is an amazing manga. Far better than most manga. Death Note, Full Metal Alchemist, these are two like of the top tier manga of all time. Top two stories. But if you didn't like Edward Elric and Alphonse Elric, or if you didn't like Light Yagami and L, you're probably not going to like the series. No matter, oh, the story's good and stuff. I hate this fucking character. If you don't like two main aspects of the story, it's never going to be in your top 10. That's all I'm trying to say. The one guy says, have you read most of the Monster Association arc? Because I've been enjoying everything that's been happening after season 2. Yeah, see, here's what I did. I started reading when Garo was introduced in the manga. Don't ask me what chapter, I don't know. But ever since Garo was first introduced in the manga, I've read every chapter since. I never read the chapters before Garo. I watched the season 1 anime. I watched up to, I think I saw the Boros fight. Is the Boros the end? I don't know. I think I watched almost all of it. I might have missed an episode or two. But I watched the season 1 anime. And I know who Boros is and stuff. Who, by the way, is God level threat. There's no such thing as Dragon Plus. And then, yeah, so I might have missed like a few moments or an episode or some chapters or whatever. But yeah, whenever the Boros fight ended and when Garo shows up, whatever chunk is missing between the end of the Boros fight and Garo showing up for the first time, that's the chunk I never saw or read. Yeah. Theodore said, maybe if the whole manga was about Saitama got that strong, then is One Punch Man title perfect? Now you can call this story however you want. Wait, maybe if the... I'm misunderstanding, Theodore. Maybe if the whole manga... Maybe if the whole... Oh, are we freezing frames here? Oh no, we're good. Maybe if the whole manga was about Saitama getting that strong, then is the One Punch Man title perfect? I don't fully understand, and I can call the story however you want. Well, I don't think I fully understand the question or the statement. Like, are you asking me if the story was following Saitama becoming this strong, would I like it better? No, because Saitama's a hypocrite. So, no. He also said, how about Blast? Do you like him? We haven't seen Blast enough. I mean, we saw him for like, 2 chapters? He looks cool. I think he went to the Dragon Ball Z bargain sale store for his hairdo, but Blast is fine. I think he's got a mission. I don't know. Got no real problem with Blast. We don't know enough about him. The reason I don't like Saitama is because I read the bonus chapters. And if you're curious, that stream is still up. I'm not going to explain it here because I sort of forget the reasoning because I usually block out shit I don't care about. And I don't care about Saitama, but I never really liked him. Because everybody's evidence of him was... Nah, never mind. No, let's not talk about that. Fuck it. I'll go on a rant forever. MC Dude said, I wouldn't consider Tatsumaki a main character. She's only really been significant in one big fight. Yeah, the longest drawn out fucking piece of shit fight ever. Even One Punch Man stands didn't like that fight. Nobody liked that fight. That fight got boring and dragged on forever. It's like, stop. Please. I call Tatsumaki a main character because she's one of the big faces of the series. I would argue that Tatsumaki is one of the main faces of the series. So, I don't know. She's definitely one of the core aspects. Like, who are the core aspects? You got Saitama, you got Genos, you got Tatsumaki. You got Garo now. And, like, who else? Really? Who would you rank above? Fubuki. There. Let's put Fubuki in there. But I would argue that both sisters are the face of the series. So... Theodore said after Boros fight, Garo was introduced. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, was it the chapter right after? Because I think I stopped watching the series after the end of the Boros fight, and then I picked up the chapter that Garo was introduced. Which, if that was the following day, then I haven't missed a thing, but I don't know for sure, is what I'm saying. MC Dude said, honestly feels like One Punch Man is just a series with an ensemble main cast now, just because the arc was burdened with having to flesh out so many characters. I think the arc was burdened by dragging out that fucking stupid fight with Tatsumaki and Psycho Orochi. A villain I didn't give a shit about after Saitama. See, here was the problem. There's one huge setup problem. I know Orochi was only a manga-only character, fine dandy, but that's a shitty excuse. At the end of the day, Saitama shows up, one punches him, he loses all credibility at that point, and then we follow a fight between Psychos and Orochi fused with Tatsumaki for months. And nobody cared. I don't know anybody who cared. Yeah, were the visuals great? Sure. Were the attacks badass? Absolutely. But I was bored. I did not care. I don't know anybody who likes that fight. Visually stunning. But who cared? Saitama already beat this guy. One punched. Orochi then became nothing. No consequence. No problem. Because Saitama walked up and boom. And Saitama is there. So the tension is gone. We don't care. We can assume that Tatsumaki is going to win. Which she did. So there was no tension in the fight. It was just dragged on and boring. It was like, you know, like at least when Frieza did it, there was a change up in the attack. There was, okay, it's Frieza versus Vegeta solo. Then it was Frieza versus Piccolo solo. Then it was Frieza versus Krillin Gohan and Piccolo and Vegeta. Then it was Goku shows up. Then it was Goku Piccolo and Krillin, and then it was Goku, and then like they changed it up, but it was just Tatsumaki versus this fucking thing changing forms every 5 seconds. It was the stupidest fight. I hate that fight. Worst fight in One Punch Man. Worst fight. It really is. And that's saying something because most fights, and you guys will think that I'm shitting on the series right now. I'm not, because most fights in the series, regardless if I like the characters or not, most fights in these series are good and significant. Most of the fights in this series. This is what, like, the longest fight in the series, and it's the worst fight in the series. It's literally the worst fight. I can't think of a worse fight. But yeah, I mean, even if you're a Tatsumaki fan, like, look, I tried to have fun with it. You guys who have been in here for a while, you all know that I had a lot of fun with it, like going like, ooh, my Psycho Orochi, like titties, glasses, librarian look, I'm here for it, you know? Trying to have some fun with it, but even I got fucking sick of it, you know? Like, I don't see how it was a good fight. It was an awful fight. It really was. It was a pissing contest on a national, like a country scale, and nobody cared. Yeah, let's see. One says, that one guy says, I enjoy Tatsumaki's fights because of her character's art, if you know what I mean. I don't, because I'm not into lollies. Theodore said, wait, am I just tired? My English is not my first language. Sorry, let me reformulate. Yeah, dude, I've been telling you to go to bed. Please, go to bed. I don't know if you're male or female, but Theodore, I'm assuming you're, but need to, I have no idea. But either way, please, go to bed. It doesn't matter. But please, go to bed if you're that tired and stuff. And I can understand that English, looking at your name, I sort of assumed, I know, that's a bad thing to do in this day and age with cancel culture, but I sort of assumed that English might not be your first language. And that's totally fine. I'm probably misunderstanding. If you do reformulate, that's fine, and I'll try my best. Theodore said, maybe if the whole manga was about how Saitama got that strong, then is the One Punch Man title, is it perfect? Yeah, it can work that way, too, because, like, History's Strongest Disciple, Kenichi, is titled History's Strongest Disciple. The dude starts out not being able to throw a punch. And we follow his journey to being, One Piece. Let's go find the One Piece. Guess what? 21 years later, they haven't found the One Piece yet. We don't even know what it is. So, you can title something like that, but the title was almost like, should have been, I don't know. It feels like a sequel series almost. Like, I don't know. Like, the title doesn't really suit for me. I don't know. I get, it's not a bad title. It's just that I think your premise is way better. Had we watched Saitama for the last 146 chapters grow into becoming the One Punch Man, that might have been better. But once again, it started as a parody manga, so that wasn't the point. Or a parody webtoon of manga, so it wasn't the point. It got adapted. See, people take it a lot more seriously now because it got so popular, because it got adapted, because it had great anime seasons, and it had a great 11 out of 10 manga artists like Murata, and some aspects have been taking far more. I know for a fact that some of these scenes in the manga that are very serious there's no way they were in the webcomic, So yeah. But yeah, you rephrased very well. MC Dude said, you're preaching to the choir with the Tots fight. Thank you. Theodore said, best fighter with Garo. You're goddamn right they are. The Metal Bat fight. Ooh. That one guy said, people only enjoyed Tots and Psycho's fight because of the art, and that's it. If the art was different, then it wouldn't have been enjoyable. Exactly, my point. And this is one of the points that I brought up before, is that One Punch Man, as I said, people praise it. A lot of the time, people give it more credit than is worth because of its fantastic art. And I think that a story should be based, I think manga is 50% art, but the other 50% needs to be held accountable. 50% only gives you a passing grade. And in college, it doesn't even give you that. So even if Murata drew, I'll give you guys a hypothetical. If Murata drew the worst story ever, pick one. People, what do people hate on? Sword Art Online. People hate it, right? If Murata drew the manga for Sword Art Online, do you think it would have the level of hate it got? Or do you think a lot of the sheep people would praise it? And if you think that that's not how that works, I can't help you, and I won't try to argue it, but that is exactly the way it works. I think that manga as a medium is 50% art, and the other 50% has to do with character, story develop, good plot, premise, story development, character development, and all the other aspects of it, right? Pacing and all that stuff. But I think that the big thing is the art. The problem is people don't treat it that way. They don't see that you only can judge something up to 50%. I'm trying to use the numbers analogy here, but you can't give something an 8 out of 10 when it's a solid 6 just because the art is fantastic. The art only gets you to 5 out of 10. What gave you the extra 3 points now? You want to say it's 10 out of 10 art, deserves all 50%. Okay, so now it's 5 out of 10. Well, what else is great about it? Is there good character development? Is there a great premise? Is there great pacing? Is it a great story? Is it an original story? Is it this? Is it that? And are you giving it those points based on those factors? Or are you letting the art leak in past the 5 out of 10? Past the 50%? And I feel, and I know for a fact, that a lot of people do that. I know they do that. Because I've seen it happen with my own goddamn eyes. Certain video game franchises, certain book sellings, certain manga. You can appeal to a wide variety of people with a very basic story. And as long as you have one compelling element, people will eat that shit up. And that's just the way it works. It's unfortunate for really out there creative works that are honestly solids like 8 out of 10s that don't get the time of day because of that. Because they just try to feed into the, what do people want? I got to dumb this down. I got to fix this. I got to make this generic so that people will like it, right? But yeah, that's my little rant about that. But that's the way I feel like some people in the One Punch Man. What's the other one? What's the other big one? I always forget. Oh, Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is a generic shonen. It's a good generic shonen, but it's generic shonen. There's nothing in that story that hasn't really been done before. The characters are fine, but they're not incredible. I mean, exceptions for one or two. But, the story is very basic. The pacing is a little odd, especially towards the end. Now, I understand that the mangaka had problems with the family at the end and had to go. But you can tell it by the sales of Demon Slayer. The sales were doing well, but not fantastic. They thought about canceling it twice. This is from the editor of Demon Slayer. And when the anime came out, it didn't change the sales. It wasn't until, because in this day and age, binge watching is a thing. So people binge watch. Once they were able to do that, and they realized the amazing animation, all of a sudden, Demon Slayer is topping One Piece. Now, wait a minute now. The manga was running for years, doing decently in the polls. Nobody cared. An anime comes out with fucking fire animation. Attack on Titan, same deal. Fire animation comes out of it. And then what happens? The manga sales boost. Now, that's not a thing on the manga. The Attack on Titan manga is not drawn that great. Actually, some of it's goddamn awful. And the Demon Slayer manga is drawn as well as most other shonen mangas. It's not bad and it's not stellar. It's pretty good. It's the animation that boosted the manga sales. Those manga sales that's the thing. You need an asterisk in towards that saying. It's sort of like steroid level athletes. Like, yeah, I beat Michael Jordan's record because I was snorting cocaine and pumped full of steroids. It doesn't really count. But most people don't see that. They look at it and they go, this is the facts, this is what happens, and this is the right answer. And it's like, it's not the way it works. That one guy says, I don't think One Punch Man is a perfect piece of art, but it's still pretty entertaining and I'm enjoying it. I like it too. I just think if I had to give it a rating, One Punch Man would be a 6 out of 10. And it would never hit my top anything. But that's just me. If you guys like it, that's fine. I also don't really care for, what's another thing? What's something really popular? Attack on Titan would never be in my top. Hunter x Hunter wouldn't be in my top. I'm going to have, you guys can call these hot takes. Sure. But it's just the way I feel. Theodore said, I hate writing. I'm better at speaking. I trust me, you're doing perfectly fine, Theodore. I've been able to understand almost everything you have said up to this point, man. So you are doing fantastic. MC Dude said, we're like 20 days out from the Record of Ragnarok anime. I know. New video series incoming because you guys don't think that I'm not going to be reviewing that. You guys are crazy. One guy says, we have to see how the arc ends in order to really judge it, though. That's very true. Theodore says, after watching Season 1, everybody complained about the lack of character development. If Season 2 was the same, then nobody would watch Season 3 because of boredom. That is also true. See, that's the thing. You need to please your crowd. And if your crowd isn't pleased, even if you have a great premise, look at a great show like Firefly. Firefly was one of the best TV shows I've ever watched in my life, and it got canceled because people like reality television. People would rather watch Survivor and Keeping Up with the Kardashians, a bunch of fucking plastic women, than they would watching something truly special, unique, and different. Kevin Costner was the biggest blockbuster star of all time. Waterworld was a little too early, like out there early for the sci-fi community, and it got panned and tanked, and it sort of kicked Kevin Costner's thing in the ass. But Waterworld is a good film. A well-done film with a very unique world concept idea. So things are appreciated later, and so it really just sucks. It really sucks because a lot of things need to play to the masses, sheep mentality, and I don't like it. It's good for some things, it's bad for others. It's bad for creativeness. It's very bad for creativeness. Because the most popular things generally aren't the most out there or the most creative. There are exceptions to the rule, but most of the time, you know. But at least when there are those exceptions to the rule, you know what you're going in for. Like, for example, anybody complaining about going to see Godzilla vs. Kong, and just to use a recent example, anybody going there and expecting to have some three-dimensional character development. I went there to watch a giant dinosaur punch the shit out of, hyper beam the shit out of a giant monkey. That's what it's about. That's what they promoted. That's what I'm there for. We're there to watch them fight. We're not, I don't know. I don't go to the Super Bowl and expect character development, So, you pay what you get. You go in what you want. I don't know. MC Dude said, you can judge parts on their own merits. That's absolutely true. But all I'm saying is that given a system, which I still argue to this day, given a system that you've chosen a medium, like if you chose books, then your writing would be 50%. Your writing style, your experience with writing would be the 50%. With manga, the 50% would be the art because it's visual. With with movies, it would be the goddamn film, right? Like there's always something that is the core aspect. With food, it's taste. Fuck what the Food Network will try to tell you. Presentation and everything are second aspects. The main thing about a good food dish is the flavor. Does it taste amazing? That's the main component. That's the 50%. Everything else, the presentation, how it, that's pretty much all it is, but how it's structured, the flavors incorporated, etc., etc., all the minor details, is it served hot, cold, whatever, the minor details happen after. The major detail is always the 50% in almost everything we do. So, yeah. So, yes, I argue you can judge everything on its own merits, and I'm not saying that you can't say that One Punch Man is a 10 out of 10 manga. I disagree, but you give only 5 points. You only give half the points to the art. You can't let that bleed over into the other main things that make up what is a 10 out of 10 story, like Full Metal Alchemist, like Death Note. You need to be able to separate what makes good pacing, good story, good arcs, good characters, and all that, and that all counts. Can't just be because L is an awesome character. He's like Batman, so it's 9 out of 10 because L. No. It's 10 out of 10 because there's a multitude of reasons. L is awesome. You can add the points in the character section, But yeah. One guy said, yeah, I had no clue what One Punch Man was till the anime came out. Neither did I, actually. MC Dude said, did you ever finish Hunter x Hunter? Nope. Stopped around the beginning of the Greed Island arc. They went to the Greed Island, they found the video game thing, and they went in it, and that's where I stopped. MC Dude said, I'm curious about your opinion of that arc is. Miss also just finished it. I know he did. You're talking the Chimera Ant arc, which he now ranks as one of the best arcs that he's ever read or he's watched. I have said that I will eventually watch it because I couldn't get through that shit. I don't get why people like this. I really don't. I don't see it. I don't get why. Do people just like being confused by Nen? You know, do they like an overcomplicated power system? I don't really get why people love Hunter x Hunter. I really don't. It's for me it's a combination between Shaman King and Fairy Tail. It's not anything special for as far as I understand. I like a lot of the characters, but none of the arcs really went wow to me. Like, I want to keep reading. Like, I struggled to get to Greed Island, and then I ended up dropping it. So, but I was told that it's the manga's fault and the pacing and you'll find that you get through everything way quicker in the anime. So everybody told me to watch the anime up until the end of the Chimera Ant arc. So I might try doing that before I judge it, properly. Because I shouldn't really speak on it. Like, I can speak on Naruto because I read all 700 chapters and still fucking hated it. So I can say, no, Naruto is not very good. But even though I didn't like it before, I can't bring that up in an argument. Like, you don't like Naruto, so you have no taste when I haven't seen it. You can't judge something that I've seen. If I say a random one, nobody's seen this one for some reason. Vision of Escaflowne. If I say, that's one of the greatest friggin' animes of all time, people's like, no, it's not. I'm like, have you seen it? No? Well, then shut the fuck up. In my opinion, you need to, you can't tell me a book is bad until you've read it. If you read it, and then you think it's bad, then we can have a conversation about it. You are allowed to your opinion. You are not entitled to an opinion if you haven't watched, read, or done it. That's as far as I'm concerned. So I still can't give a full opinion, even though I give you guys my thoughts. I can't give you a real opinion on Hunter x Hunter legitimately because I have not finished it. And that's not fair, considering apparently the Chimera Ant arc is one of the best arcs of all time, and I didn't reach there. So, Theodore said, we can all agree that adding Garo into the story was the best choice, like he is the savior of the One Punch Man success. I think so. It's the only reason that I keep reading. We would not be here right now if Garo was not in the story. I never would have started streaming One Punch Man. I literally stream it to wait for Garo to show up. That one guy said, all right, I got to go. It was nice dropping by. Good stream. Earned a sub from me. Thank you very much. The guy who watches you when you're sleeping. I would urge you to change that name. But there we go. MC said it was a plenty successful before he was introduced, to be fair. Yes, it was. It took the world. It got extremely hype. But yeah. Amsterdam also said, but also a lot of its success is owed to Murata, who found it hype, and probably in part because of Garo. There you go. I mean, Garo keeps people like me interested in it. So that's probably a small percentage. Definitely under 15%, I would say. But still a percentage of people still follow One Punch Man because of Garo. Garo has a huge fan base. And if he was not in the story, One Punch Man would likely not be as successful. But a lot of people, for some reason, as I said before, Murata's art is a giant factor, and the fact that it was animated by who did it? Madhouse Studio Bones, whatever. It was gonna be fire. These companies only touch things that they make blockbuster hits on. It's sort of like, hey, I'm gonna hire Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, and fucking Hugh Jackman, and who else can I pull? Jason Statham, Anne Hathaway, and Helen Mirren. And Meryl Streep while we're at it. I'm going to hire a bunch of Oscar, Emmy fucking winners. And I'm going to have the director be Steven Spielberg plus Quentin Tarantino as assistant director. Now, you know what I just did? I made a license to print money, even if I produce the worst piece of shit ever. I just made money. Because if you do that, That's the way the world works. It's crazy. So, every factor adds to the success of something, is my point. Every single factor. But, once again, in the anime world, Studio Madhouse and Studio Bones is basically a license to print money. Whatever they touch is going to turn to gold, and regardless if it's a 10 out of 10 product or not, the animation will be great. That's all I can say about that. The animation will be fire. I can't promise the rest of the product, but a lot of people like to look past, or a lot of people don't look past the nice animation. Everybody's taken in with the ruby red glasses. Everybody looks at it with the pretty rainbow, the pretty colors, the pretty animation, and nobody stops to think, as fucking Disney level awesome this is, this doesn't make I don't really like this story. This story's way too fast. Like, what the fuck? No, nobody thinks that when they're watching. Caden's in here and he says, Garo just wants to win as a villain to prove a point, but deep down he is a good guy. I know, that's what makes him the best character. That's why he's the main character. That's why I call this the Garo Show instead of One Punch Man. It's the Garo Show because Garo's the real main character. He's the most developed character. He's the best character in the series. And he's got the most... He's right. He's basically... You know what he reminds me? He reminds me of Stain from My Hero Academia. They've sort of got the same ideology here. Stain doesn't want to be a villain, necessarily. He just hates the heroes for... Basically, they have the same ideology in the sense of what a hero is and how they're not right. So it's pretty cool. Theodore said the build for Garo was good at start, like within the 6 months I will come to destroy everybody, and now the build is even better, like he actually tries to save people. Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. Garo is amazing. MC Dude said he's an upset teenager just slashing at the world, but he's making a lot of headway. He's not just an upset teenager though, man. He has a point. As I said, I compared him to Stain, and Stain wasn't wrong either. That's like saying that Dracula was wrong. I mean, you can argue that he went a little overboard, but Dracula in Castlevania wasn't wrong either. Don't touch my wife. I'm literally the king of everything. You don't have to like it, church, but leave me alone. Leave my wife alone. You didn't? I guess I'm going to destroy your entire world. I'd do it. His one rule was, I'm not going to destroy all of humanity and unleash the gates of hell because my wife said not to. They decided to burn her at the stake. Well, there went your... that was a red flag. It's the exact same concept. I would do the same. If I was Dracula and my wife was fucking burned at the stake for that, I'd be like, yeah, none of these people deserve it. Because nobody tried to stop it. So, fuck it. I'm not just destroying the town. I believe that every town of humanity is like this. You know what? You're all cattle. I'm done with you. And humanity as a whole we're pretty fucking awful. Thousands of years on this earth and we still haven't figured out how to deal with racism. We're all fucking humans and we haven't fixed racism. Like, Christ's sakes, we are not smart people. We are a terrible species. We really are. We're awful. That's why I like Zero Fuku and Record of Ragnarok and shit, because I'm like, yeah, I feel for Zero Fuku. I feel for it completely. Like, wipe this slate clean. Like I don't want to die, but humanity as a whole we're a horrible species. Homo sapiens are a horrible species. We're a bunch of infighting, inbred bunch of assholes who don't understand the simple concept of why don't we just all try to get the fuck along? We don't fit in the circle of life. It's awful. It's awful being human. MC Dude said he's an... Oh, yeah. Caden said the director that made John Wick is going to be the director in the live-action Helsing movie. There's a live-action Helsing movie? What the fuck? I didn't know about that. That's cool. I love Helsing. Helsing is awesome. I watched the original series long before the OVAs came out, or Helsing Ultimate. I read the manga after watching the series. Alucard. See, Alucard would beat Saitama. I'm going to get so many people pissed at me for that. But here's the deal. Haruhi Suzumiya, Alucard, and Goku. Oh, fuck that, Yamcha. They all beat Saitama. Yeah. Because they were OP before. Yeah, they beat Saitama. And that's just because we're gonna end the stream here. I gotta pee, and I gotta record. Being now overtired and starting to feel the buzz of having. How many beer have I had today? 13. Probably something like that. I'm in the double digits, anyways. So now I'm feeling pretty tired, and I still need to record that Record of Ragnarok review and be somewhat coherent to do it. So, and it's been 2 hours. It's over a 2-hour stream. I like a good 2-hour stream. Thank you for the chat, for being here. I will respond to the end of the chat here in a second. But thank you for dealing with me. Thank you for dealing with my rants. I know I go off on tangents, but that's why you guys love me. I'm the tangent guy. But yeah, this was a really great chapter. I loved it. I loved the chapter before the Garo reveal. Let's just be clear. I thought it was a solid 8 out of 10. Easy. Chapter. It was a really good chapter. I really liked all the scenes. And then the 1 foot thing was weird with Homeless. But then Garo shows up and, of course, steals the show, as he does, because it's his show. And anyways, really good chapter. I know you guys all loved it. I loved it. So, yeah. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to our new subscribers that showed up, Theodore and that one guy who watched you while you sleep. But once again, change that name, man. That's not a good look. Who subbed, which is cool, apparently, and all that fun jazz. So, yeah. Theodore says, I like Garo because his story is the same as mine in real life. You're going to... And Theodore says, and this is why I am keep reading it. I mean, fair enough. If you relate to Garo, I doubt you have exactly Garo. I find it funny when people do that, like, oh, his story's mine. I'm like, superpowers aren't real, but okay. But yeah, if you relate to Garo and you see a lot of yourself in Garo and his backstory, I can understand that, and I can sympathize with that, and definitely... keep reading the series. Clearly you love the series, and so I just urge you to keep reading, because we're getting more Garo, that's for sure. I wouldn't be reviewing it if there was no Garo. So yeah, that's it for me tonight, guys. Like, comment, subscribe as always, and don't forget, it's only the end of May. We're not even in the end of May yet, but we are getting to 600 subscribers in the month of June. Now, the month of June is right around the corner, and we are only at a measly, 564, I believe, 563 at last count. Less than 50 subscribers. I need less than 50 of you in the next 30 days. In the next 30-odd days, I need at least 50 more of you, or less than 50 of you, to join in so we can have 600 subscribers. That'd be really cool. I'd really like to set that goal. So... yeah, but this stream went for the solid, well over 2 hours. Thank you to, as I said, our new subscribers, Theodore, and the one guy who watches you sleep, weird, Caden, MC Dude, Vib, everybody else who was here in the chat. Not sure if anybody else was in here. Double checking really quick. AJ was in here, yeah, AJ was in here. Kane was in here. Dragon's Rage was not, as far as I can see. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. But thank you, all of you guys, for being here and blah, blah, blah. Keeping the chat alive, having a nice, fun Friday night stream. So, I'm going to go order a pizza or a donair or something like that. And then I'll get working on that Record of Ragnarok review, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. Drink responsibly. Fuck, I hate ending streams because usually I can just do the drink responsibly, peace out, and then I can do the fade out thing. But here I need to like go up to the end stream button and still be talking, you know, and I like to use both my hands. You guys know that. So anyways, all right. Well, that's it for me. I suck at ending streams. Bye.